let's talk about preparing for your business exit without having to work through an earnout. Now, the reality is you're going to have to work through an earnout anyway. Now, are you going to do this on your terms while you're still in control and while you still own the business? Or are you going to work through an earnout when someone else owns a business and control is already handed over and they have the possibility to move the goalposts and make things, let's say, difficult and harder to achieve those goals to meet your earnout requirements? I know which way I'd want to do it. What you want to know. So this video, we're going to talk about what are the things that you need to do to prepare your business for an exit so that you can exit on your terms and get the most from your life's work. And we're really going to be focusing on how you can maximize the valuation so that you can get as much of that valuation up front and without risk. As a reminder, we're talking about the 5 stages to preparing a business for exit, and there's 21 steps that spread across those 5 stages. In this video today, we're talking about stages 2 and 3, how we're going to protect what you've already built, and then once you've built that solid foundation, how you move on to maximize the valuation of your business. I'm Daryl Bates Brownsword, and I've been working with SME business owners, privately held businesses for about 25 years now. I've worked with them in Australia, in the UK, South Africa, parts of Europe and parts of the USA. What you may be interested to know is that over the years I've been talking to many business owners who've already exited their business and lots of advisors who help in different ways with those business owners to prepare for exit. And I collate all of those interviews in the Exit Insights podcast. We issue new episodes weekly, and there's well over 150 episodes there with experts from around the world, business owners from around the world. I'm sure there's something there that will keep your interest and give you some great tips on what you can do to prepare your business. Now, here's the big question. Every business owner asks me, how can I maximize the valuation of my business and avoid having to work an earnout? Because once I have to work an earnout and someone else owns the business, I've lost control. So what is an earnout? An earnout is when effectively you think the business is worth something and the buyer's going, look, I really don't think the business is worth that much. But if we want to close that gap a little, perhaps once we do the deal, if you stay on and work in the business for 2, 3, or even more years, we'll come up with some sort of financial arrangement where we can close the gap and give you a bit more money. I've seen all sorts of earnouts, and often, more often than not, the terms are loosely defined. And the reality is, earnouts and entrepreneurs are like oil and water. They just don't mix. I've seen too many entrepreneurs go, hey, once the business changed hands, the new owners, they're just not running it right. They don't know how to run the business like I did. They're not doing it right. I can't work for someone else, and they'll just walk away and they'll leave before the earnout is complete, and they're leaving a whole lot of money on the table. This is not exiting on your terms. We want to avoid what should be the highlight of your career ending up feeling like a messy divorce. So let's figure out how we can do the earnout before the business changes hands, so we've got a business that's really attractive so that the buyers don't have to impose any sort of onerous conditions on you to get that valuation that you both feel like is the right number and the numbers work for you. So you need to mitigate the risks. To avoid working an earnout, quite simply, you need to mitigate all of the risks that the buyer sees as a threat to the business continuing on the trajectory or the growth path that it was on while you were at the helm. We need to eliminate that risk and show them that, hey, all of the systems, all the infrastructure, all the resources you've built and implemented into the business will continue because you don't have your hand on the hill. You're not driving it. You're not there operationally making sure everything's happening. You're not required to make decisions on a daily basis. The business is happening and you're just owning it and have a remote control. Okay, so let's start on stage 2. Stage 2 is how we protect the value we've got. I see stage 2 as like, hey, look, we've built the business valuation. We've built a whole lot of infrastructure. Let's just make sure that if the business were to be sold today, that we would get at least the average valuation for a business in my sector, my size, my state, etc. What does my business need to look like? What do I have to do to protect everything I've built so far? So that's what we're doing in stage 2. So first thing we want to do is financial planning. This is all about your personal financial planning. This is about understanding your lifestyle requirements, how much you need to fund those lifestyle requirements once you leave the business. This is about informing yourself so you know what's required, how much you need invested outside of your business, and therefore how much you need the business to generate upon exit for you to invest and have the cash available. And so after tax, what you'll have available, and will that be enough to fund your lifestyle requirements? A financial planner will be required to help you with this, but this is first step of the planning, understanding what your needs are and what's possible for you. An interesting point, I guess, before I move on to the next step, is that with financial planning, what I notice with business owners who already have their financial planning under control, who know that their freedom number has already been reached, they've already got enough invested outside of their business, they just become better leaders. They don't have that stress of everything riding on the business, and they become better leaders with that stress removed. So that's just a point worth noting and something to aim for while you're still got your hands on the till, or while you're still involved in the business and an owner of the business. The next one that we need to protect against is unplanned exits. It's something like 52% of business exits are unplanned. And they're things like divorce, death, disability, something that was unplanned. But the big one that's often missed is an unplanned exit is when someone comes and makes an offer to buy your business that you weren't looking for. That's come out of the blue. An unplanned offer is an unplanned exit. You want to make sure that your business is ready to go and will keep the energy of that potential acquirer, and making sure that nothing slips through the net, nothing will prevent that deal going through if it's a good, attractive deal and you want to pursue it. Then we want to de-risk it. We want to make sure that the business isn't dependent on you being there, making key decisions, being involved in the operations, being the best salesperson, being the best technician. The more we can extract you out of the daily operations, more we can demonstrate that the business doesn't depend on you being there daily, the more the business is worth. We want to make sure that you've got a management team in place, and all you're doing is acting in a chairman style role. And if you're in a chairman style role, all you're doing is coaching the leadership team and making sure and guiding them and mentoring them to run the business the way you want it run. You're setting the vision and you're holding the culture. You're the leader or the manager of the culture, because the owners, the shareholders always drive the culture of the business. If you're just working in those three areas, you've extracted yourself out of the operations of the business. Your business is in good hands. Now, the outcome of stage 2, steps 4, 5, and 6, is that you've documented a business continuity plan. If you've got a business continuity plan for your business and it's addressed and documented how you've identified all the risks in the business to the ongoing revenue and how you've mitigated those risks, you're in a good position and you've got step 2 documented. No earnout means you've got the documented and you've mitigated the risk. Right, now that you've addressed stage 2, you want to move on to stage 3. You're in good position to start thinking about how you can maximize the valuation of the business. Maximizing the valuation means improving the profit and getting to best profitability, best-in-class profitability. It also means tweaking and focusing on building all of those intangible assets that will increase the multiple value. Now, all the intangible assets are the things that attract clients to you. It means you no longer have to go and chase clients, because people are coming to you because of your methodology, your process, your reputation. Your marketing machine attracts people to you, and you've got a reliable source of leads coming into the business. Right. First one in stage 3 is step 7. Step 7 is understanding the exit options that are available to you. What's your energy level? Have you had enough? Do you just want to step away from the business now? Do you have enough energy where you want to go, yeehaw, let's go. I want to put in one big effort. I've got a few years left of me. Let's drive this. Let's crank it up as much as we can. Or have you reached the place where there's nothing left, that the industry has changed, there's been a shift in the industry, or the business is just too centric around you, it's a smaller business, and is there really nothing to sell, and is there just a fade away? You really need to understand what your options are energetically, and then you want to have a look at what are the options available to you because of the industry, the size, the scale of your business. Are you going to sell it as a trade sale? Are you going to sell it to a competitor? Are you just going to sell your client base? Or have you built something where the scale and size and you've got IP in place where you can sell the whole business as a going concern and it's attractive to a strategic buyer? Or is it anywhere else in between? Are you going to sell it to a PE? Are you going to list it? What are the options? Let's figure out what's available to you in the time frame required. What investment of time and resources is required to get you there? Let's figure out, let's do it on your terms. Let's get you on the front foot driving the exit, because at the end of the day, you're going to choose the valuation rather than have someone else dictated to you because you've put all of the work in. Right, let's start with our business model. Let's do some strategic planning. Let's start working with the leadership team to be driving the business forward. Let's hand over the reins to them so that they're driving the business rather than you. First bit is, are we boutique or scale? And a common misconception here is that the boutique or scale refers to your business. No, it refers to your proposition. Are you a boutique proposition? Are you leading with your own consulting advice? Have you got creative solutions that you're providing? Are you working on specific solutions for each client? Or are you scaling someone else's proposition? Have you got someone else's solution that you're taking to market at scale and therefore you're implementing someone else's solution? That's the difference between boutique and scale. Are you just taking someone else's product to market, or have you got a brand new solution, a new idea that you're taking to market based on your IP and your new methodology, your new solution to a problem? The next thing we're going to look at with your strategic planning is to go, are we in a phase? What stage are we in the business cycle? How much capacity have we built up in our business? Do we have more resources than we do demand, or do we have more demand than we do resources and capacity? We want to be matching those two so that we're matching supply and demand, and we want to be on the front foot. We want to be doing that proactively rather than reactively. Are we in an efficiency phase where we're getting more clients and using up more of our capacity? Or are we in an expansion phase where we're creating more capacity? And at the end, we want to be starting to design our strategic plan and our succession planning document. Now, stage 3, we want to start looking at our strategic financials. Where are we? Do we need to start thinking about our financials? Do we need a CFO in place, a part-time CFO, a fractional CFO? Are we analysing our business performance proactively? Are we looking forward with our financials, or are we reactive? Do we know our cash flow? Do we know our affordability? Do we know where we are in our business plan, and if we're moving and we're achieving our business plan, and where are we on track to our business plan? Are we on the front foot, or are we just going and are we reactive? We need to be looking forward with our financials rather than looking backward. To achieve this no earnout, we have a functional management team that's driving the business rather than the owners driving the business and managing the financials. Step 10, this is all about systems and procedures. Do we have a functional structure? Do we have the management team running with a functional perspective of the business? Do we have everyone with job roles and knowing how their job roles and working to their job roles, and their job roles they know, they have visibility and understanding how their job roles contribute to the business achieving its vision? Are they updated? Do we have systems and policies and procedures in place? have we got our 4 key systems in place? Our 4 key systems are: we have a marketing machine. We understand how we're generating demand for our solution in the marketplace. That's the marketing machine. Do we have a talent machine in place? A talent machine is managing the capacity and a supply of capacity to meet the demand. We've got the supply and demand working in balance. The talent machine makes sure that our capacity is aligned to our vision and a fit to our vision and a cultural fit, and they understand what the culture is and that they're all working towards the vision and they're inspired and motivated to be working towards that. The next one is, do we have our primary workflows for each product proposition we have out there or each solution? Our primary workflow is our system from point of sale all the way through to client care. And our fourth one is an agile management system. Now, when most people go to systemize a business, they only address the production line or the primary workflow. They don't even address the whole primary workflow. They just really focus on production. What we want to do, if we want to systemize the business and eliminate owner dependence, we need to address all 4 primary workflows and the key systems. And the fourth one is the agile management system. That's where your leadership team are driving the business year on year and demonstrating how the business is moving towards the vision, that 10-year vision, that 3-year plan you've got in place. They're showing how they've got a process that works, is addressed week by week and moving, inching towards day by day towards achieving that vision. It doesn't happen by chance. It is a deliberate leadership team management system in place. We call it the Agile Management System, and it gives you confidence that when you say this is how things are being done around here, that they are actually being done around here in that way. The Agile Management System has a great feedback and a monitoring system in place, which is what gives you that confidence that you need. And then that is all supported with the HR tools and templates, which build and complement back to the talent machine. Right, I've now got my systems and procedures in place. You've got your systems and procedures in place. You now want to have a look at your marketing and sales and your marketing machine in a bit more detail. And step 11 is all about building out that marketing machine. You want to make sure that you have a lever type system where you just go, I know how many leads I need. I know how many leads each route to market will provide me. If I just do this amount of effort, I will get this many leads, and I know what my cost per lead is by each route to market. That's ultimately what you want at the end of the day with your marketing machine. Now you want to start looking at your corporate governance. How do I know that I'm compliant with my corporation's laws? Have I got my records in place? Have I got a data room that's almost ready to go? Am I tracking and recording all the sort of information for my own benefit and my effective running of the business, but also all the things that a buyer would want to see that would give them comfort that the business is being run exactly the way we say it is or you say it is? No earnout means that you've got a board of directors and you've got all of your decisions being made. And this is where you track your records that show that your management team is driving the business year on year, heading towards that vision. And that's not just a fluke. Right, we now want to start working on the ownership mindset. This is where we really start working on the talent machine. And the talent machine is what my culture is, my organization. How is that culture aligned to that vision that we have? Is everyone aligned and motivated and incentivized, and do they know how their job works towards the vision? How do I get my employees, how do you get your employees to think and act like owners? That's what ownership mindset is all about. No earnout means that everyone is aligned and motivated and incentivized to achieve the same outcome. Now move on to step 14, a peak performance trust. Peak performance trust is, we talked in step 13 about how do I get my employees to think and act like owners. Well, step 14 is, well, if we're going to get them to think and act like owners, let's actually treat them like owners. Let's give them a piece of the pie. Let's give them a chunk of equity so that they are aligned and they are incentivized and they feel like they're part of it. We talk about the ladder to equity. This is how you achieve the ladder to equity, and you really buy that lawyer, or you get alignment of your key employees and they're aligned to the business and they're loyal to the business. No earnout means everyone is aligned and motivated and incentivized to achieve exactly the same outcome. And we move on to step 15. Step 15 is all about management succession. How do I make sure that my leadership team, I've got the handover of roles and responsibilities from you, the leaders of the business, the owners of the business, to that next process? Have I got a process that brings people into the business, moves them through to the business, and they know how they transfer out of the business? Have I got all those key roles documented? Have I got all those key skills documented and a plan to address them, not just from you, but to the next layer as well? No earnout means you've got a functional team in place, and with the owners operating in a chair role that are working on the vision, culture, and they're coaching the leadership team. At the end of step 15 and the end of stage 3, you'll have a management succession plan in place that addresses all of the things you've talked about from step 7 through to step 15. It'll document your business. We sometimes call it a user manual for your business. You've got all your key decisions and frameworks in this manual, the management succession plan, including a user guide. And why is it called a user guide? Because it's a guide for the new users or the new owners of the business. When you think about it as a user guide, you've got the energy to want to put in and actually get it completed, whereas no one wants a systems manual. If you want to complete the earnout, your management succession will be in place for no earnout to be required. Right, that's stages 2 and 3. What do we have to do? Well, we've got to de-risk the strategy, the exit strategy. You must be focused on 3 main things. You have to extract yourself from any key roles. We want to eliminate owner dependence in your business. You want your workflow documented. You want everyone trained in using that workflow, and it needs to be captured as a user guide in your business, and you need a management succession plan. So everything needs to be documented. That's how you'll exit your business without an earnout. If you want to know more and really get into some detail of the 21 steps, we've got an ebook. You might be able to see it. Well, the ebook it's like 300 pages. It's a proper book. If you scan this barcode that's on the screen now, you can go to the website and download your own copy. And where to from here? So if you want to start working, on your earnout now, while you still own the business, while you're still involved in the business. You want to extract yourself from any operations, and you want to start working on your earnout so that you do the earnout while you still control the business. If you need any help, by all means, please, we welcome your call to ask us questions, get thoughts, input, and we're happy to have a call with you and work out a strategy that's particular to your business. Read the ebook, enjoy it. I think you'll get a lot of value out of that. If you want help, naturally, we're here to help you. We can implement your strategy a whole lot faster. We do it every day. We can help implement your strategy so that you can exit your business without an earnout. If you want to get in touch with me, this is the best way to do it. I'm Daryl Bates Brownsword, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.